Hi, I'm BlackGarden from PlatinumSimmers.com. A couple of days ago I played Island Paradise along with Moser and SWW, also from Platinum Simmers, and a few community members who have become familiar faces over the past couple of years. We also had the opportunity to talk via Skype to Graham Nardone, aka SimGuru Graham, about Island Paradise, and Lisa Smith, aka SimGuru Smitty, who was answering questions about Dragon Valley. Island Paradise may be the largest expansion yet for The Sims 3, and it will certainly offer something for almost everybody. If you liked Open for Business in The Sims 2, you'll love the resort management features. Although you don't get to choose what type of business to open, there is a lot of freedom within the resort management to flex your creative muscles. And control freaks will rejoice as they get options to micromanage every aspect of the business. You can choose what shifts will be covered by your staff and what you want them to work on. You can select uniforms for individual members of staff or set defaults for everyone. Keep tabs on your resort finances in the Finances panel, where you can see how much it is costing you to keep your various facilities running. Get feedback from your guests via the Resort Reviews panel. You can see your current star rating, as well as getting a feel for how your guests felt about their stay. If a life of leisure is more your style, you can take up windsurfing or scuba diving, which are new skills in the pack. When you start out windsurfing, you'll be lucky to stay on the board, but you can do some cool tricks as your skill improves. With the scuba diving, you'll actually want to start off just by snorkeling, but when your skill gets to level 4 or so, you'll be able to go scuba diving at the easier dive spots around town. You actually follow your sim down under the water, and you can find some collectibles down there like shells. You can also catch fish, and you'll find some treasure chests. The treasure chests are difficult to spot, but worth finding as they contain high-value items. Keep an eye on your sim's moodlets as they dive. If they start to run out of air, it will appear as a moodlet, and you should return to the surface. Your sim can also explore underwater caves. These are similar to exploring the mausoleum, so you can't follow your sim in there. But they are able to follow tunnels through to other places around town and may come out at another dive spot. While you're underwater, you're pretty likely to run into this pack's supernatural sim, the mermaid. Mermaids can be male or female, and you have special things that you can talk to them about. Just don't ask them about their fish parts, it seems to upset them. If you become great friends with a mermaid, they might give you some magical kelp. You can also obtain this kelp by buying it from the Lifetime Rewards panel. Once they eat the magic kelp, your sim will start to turn into a mermaid. Mermaids can walk on land like regular sims, and they can swim and dive underwater without snorkels or scuba equipment. They will not run out of air underwater. When they get out of the water, their tails turn into normal legs but with fish-like scales on them. Mermaids have a particular preference for any food that comes from the sea, and their favourite is kelp, which is a new harvestable plant that you can find in the dive spots. Instead of a hygiene bar, mermaids have a hydration bar. They can die of dehydration, which will give you a yellow ghost. You can avoid this by taking a bath or shower regularly, but mermaids will also need to swim in salt water regularly, or their scales will begin to disappear and they'll turn back into a normal sim. To keep your mermaid near the water, you might want to build a houseboat for them. Houseboats are a great new feature. You start by picking a base, and you are limited to a few sizes there, but you can get some decent sized boats. You build up from there like you would with any other house. The difference being, your sim can take the helm and move your houseboat out to sea. You don't always have to dock your houseboat in the same place, or you don't even have to dock at all, you could just live out at sea. If your sim has their own boat, they can use that to move between the houseboat and the shore. There are loads of different types of boats in the pack. As well as the speed boats you'd expect, there are rowing boats, sailing boats, and pedalos, and probably a few others that I've forgotten about. If your sim doesn't have their own boat, don't worry, they can get the taxi boat, which will take them between their houseboat and the shore. If you have pets, Graham told us that they will be fine with living on a houseboat. However, if you want to keep horses on a houseboat, they're too big to walk across the gangway, so we'll need to get their own boat to board the houseboat. While you're out on the water, you could go looking for an uncharted island. Look for map pieces in treasure chests or in bottles on the beach. When you have 4, you can construct a map and discover an uncharted island. These islands are obscured by fog and unreachable until you discover them. There seem to be plenty of islands to discover, and it's certainly not something you could achieve trivially. One way to discover uncharted islands is on the job as a lifeguard. This new ambition-style career is ideal if you love the beach life, and it will allow you to do a proper Baywatch-style slow-motion run down to the water to save other Sims. Island Paradise will be released on 28th of June in the UK. If you have any questions about the pack, you can ask in the comments on this video or tweet them to @PlatinumSimmers.